Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a familiar goal, achieving financial freedom, but maybe from a less common angle. We're not just focusing on the to-dos, but actually on the things you absolutely must avoid.
That's right. We've got some source material here that lays out pretty clearly 7 things you must avoid if you want to be rich.
Hmm. And it really flips the usual advice on its head. It argues that, sometimes just getting rid of the roadblocks, that can be way more powerful than chasing the next big thing without fixing the basics.
I like that, sort of clearing the path before you even start running. So our mission today is to really dig into each of these 7 pitfalls the source highlights. Understand why avoiding them is so critical.
Exactly. And the first big trap the source points out is something it calls lifestyle inflation, or, simply living beyond your means.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. What does beyond your means really look like in this context? Especially if someone's income is actually going up. Well, that's the sneaky part, isn't it? As you earn more, you tend to spend more, sometimes even faster than your income rises. The source really emphasizes that those outward signs of success, the fancy car, the constant upgrades, they might not actually signal wealth. Often, they just show money going out as fast as it comes in.
Ah, okay. So if you're spending it all, maybe even borrowing for stuff you consume, you're not actually building anything substantial.
Precisely. It's not just don't overspend. The source is saying that a rising income can actually mask the problem, make it harder to see.
Interesting. So what's the counter move, according to the source?
It's a bit counterintuitive. Act broke, stack money. Basically, keep your spending deliberately low compared to your income, even if you get a raise, purposefully. That way you can really aggressively build up savings and investments.
Got it. That flows quite naturally into the second thing to avoid. Fear of taking risks, playing it too safe.
Yeah, this was fascinating because, let's face it, building wealth often requires some level of calculated risk. The source contrasts just sitting still, playing it safe, with how wealthier people often operate. They understand that doing nothing is also a risk. You risk missing out on growth.
So they take these leaps, but they're calculated. Investments, maybe business ideas.
Right. It's not about being reckless. The key is the preparation before taking the leap. The Force puts it as learn, then leap. You don't just jump. You research, understand the potential downsides, really educate yourself first. That knowledge turns a blind gamble into a calculated risk.
Okay, learn, then leap. I like that. Moving from external stuff to maybe our internal world. The third pitfall is a negative money mindset.
Yeah, this is all about scarcity thinking. Those deep-seated beliefs like money's evil or feeling you don't deserve wealth or just constantly worrying there isn't enough to go around. The source argues these thoughts actually lead to self-sabotage. They limit your potential before you even get started.
So what you believe inside kind of shapes what happens outside.
Absolutely. If you think money is bad or hard to come by, you'll subconsciously push opportunities away, right? The source suggests actively fighting this, using affirmations almost, shifting focus to seeing chances, believing money can flow to you. It's about changing that whole relationship.
Which makes sense and probably links to the fourth avoidance, hanging with the wrong crowd.
This is your circle, your peers. The source warns about dream killers and small thinkers, people whose default mode is complaining, maybe gossip, or just discouraging any kind of big ambition. It's contagious.
So it's not just avoiding negativity, but avoiding people who kind of shrink your sense of what's possible.
Exactly that. If everyone around you is just focused on getting by, aiming for real financial freedom can feel weird or even impossible. The source really pushes finding people who are also striving, who share ideas, who actually want you to succeed. That network should lift you, not drag you down.
Okay, makes total sense. Let's get really practical now. Pitfall number 5, no financial discipline.
The source has a blunt term for this: being financially clueless. It's just the basic lack of money management, No budget, no idea where the money goes, no savings plan, definitely no investment strategy. You could earn a lot, but if it just vanishes, well, you're always on shaky ground.
Seems fundamental, but yeah, easy to skip. What's the source's core advice here?
A simple but powerful rule. Every unit of currency should have a job. Every pound, dollar, euro, whatever. It's the heart of budgeting, really. Giving every bit of income a purpose, making sure some of it is specifically assigned to building your future.
Assigning jobs. Okay. Number 6 hits on income structure. Depending on one source of income.
Being a one-source player, as the source puts it, that scene is really vulnerable. A job is great for stability, sure, but real wealth often comes from resilience. From multiple streams. You look at wealthy individuals, they tend to diversify, right? Side businesses, investments paying dividends, maybe rental properties.
So it's about not having all your financial eggs in one basket, basically, not totally reliant on one employer.
Yeah, it doesn't mean quit your job tomorrow, but it means consciously starting to build those other streams, even small ones at first. The source's message is start building multiple streams now. Just recognize that relying on one thing is fragile.
Okay. And finally, the seventh pitfall, one I think we can all relate to at times, procrastination.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
The source nails this as waiting for the perfect moment. Putting off starting to save, delaying that investment because the market isn't just right, never launching the side hustle. Every delay costs you. Lost compounding, lost learning opportunities. That perfect moment, it rarely just shows up. You kind of have to make it happen.
So inaction itself is the thing to avoid here.
Fundamentally, yeah. While you're waiting for everything to line up perfectly, others are moving. The source just says take action now.
Uh-huh.
Even a small step, even an imperfect one, is better than doing nothing when it comes to building momentum.
So thinking about this whole picture the source paints, becoming rich isn't just about hard work or high earnings, is it? It seems to be framed more as thinking smarter, being disciplined, and crucially, skillfully dodging these common traps.
Exactly. Just to recap those 7 pitfalls quickly. Living beyond your means or lifestyle inflation. Fear of taking calculated risks. A negative money mindset, hanging with the wrong crowd. Lack of financial discipline, relying on just one income stream. And finally, procrastination.
Which really brings us to a thought-provoking question for you, listening right now. Looking at that list of 7,